So I will put a stop to your lewdness and prostitution you began in Egypt. You will not look on these things with wronging or remember Egypt anymore. Ezekiel 23, verse 27. Adding adultery in marriage. We continue to discuss about the dangerous effects of marital unfaithfulness. And we have been saying, Ezekiel 23, the Lord is describing a religious prostitution. And there is something you need to understand. If you are a whore religiously, it is the same as whoredom in the body. There are people who are whores in the body. They say, my father was polygamous. There is nothing like that. Whoredom is whoredom. Moving from one man to another, one woman to another. Then there is another whoredom, religious whoredom. And it attracts the same or similar effects as a whoredom of the body. Religious whoredom is whereby you keep on moving from one church to another, from one man of God to another. That is what we call spiritual prostitution. And then there is, I keep on speaking about them here. They all have the similar effect. You keep on seeing a demon coming to sleep with you. You're a woman, you keep on seeing a man sleeping with you in the dream. You romance. And either that man will sleep with you or masturbate on you. Or the same vice versa of the opposite gender. Or there are even other men who dream with men doing it from the back. And even women, there are women who see women in the dream doing it to them. So whoredom or adultery is so expanded. There are also those who use idols. Do you know there are people who are married to deities? A deity says, this is my wife. And you can't do anything to her. We see women who get claimed that she is my wife. She is my wife. You fail to understand how. So we see here God continuing to complain and releasing judgment on whoredom or prostitution or adultery, which means having a sexual intercourse or a love affair with more than one partner outside legal concepts. So number one, if you go back to verse 26, says number one, verse 26, if you can start from there, verse 26. We are still in Ezekiel 23. Number one, he says, they will strip you. They will strip you. Strip you of clothes and jewelries. Fine jewelries. Fine jewelry. When you commit adultery, by the time you are getting out of that action, you entered in the action where in clothes and were wearing fine jewelries. But when you come out of that action, where you are stripped, when you are disarmed. So adultery takes away your clothing, your cover, and your fine jewelries, your virtues. You cannot commit adultery and continue commanding strong personality or charisma or strong reputation or a good name. That one dies there. The moment you commit adultery, you get out of the adultery without clothes and without fine jewelries. Number two says, so I will put, okay, let's go now to verse 28. Says, I am about to hand you over to those you hate. Number two, handed over to those you hate. When you commit adultery, adultery hands you over to those you hate. So what happens? You will notice there is a type of class of people that hate you or you hate so much. When you commit adultery, adultery makes you subject to those you hate. Let me try to say something about Christians. When you commit adultery, Christians, by Bible principle, they hate Muslims according to the principle of Exodus, is it 17? Exodus 16, verse 11. Verse 11 to verse 13. So when you commit adultery and you go and do your research, immediately you will find yourself operating under Muslims or Indians or Hindus or an unbeliever or a paganist. You commit adultery. The person who gives you a job is a person of your hatred. Number 3 says what? He says, verse 29, they will deal with you in hatred, dealt with in hatred. In hatred. People deal with you in hatred, in disgust. That's why you notice they call us kafiri. Kafiri. And they say kafiri are a word of death. Adultery makes those you hate deal with you with hatred. You don't attract pity or mercy. Understand that system. Your in-laws deal with you with hatred. Neighbors that you hate. Why? I wish we had the time to discuss it beyond. And he says, and it take away everything you have worked for. Number 4 is plunder. Plundering. When you commit adultery, whatever you have worked for is taken away. You get easily plundered of your gifts and the talent that you have prayed for, you have fasted for, prayed for, or sacrificed for. But when you commit adultery, all of that is taken away. So your work is to work hard. Then the devil introduces adultery and the devil takes away all you have worked for. Something else is, and they will leave you 5, they will leave you naked and bare. Adultery makes you naked. So adultery makes you uncovered, exposed and vulnerable, and accessible and infiltratable. And then adultery makes you bare. That is key. That is very key. Adultery will make you bare. Meaning what? When you commit adultery, adultery takes away your shoes. Because barefoot, bare is of the feet. So adultery will commit it, but still it will affect your feet, making you bare. Meaning what? Adultery takes away your inherent dominion authority. After you commit adultery, you cannot trample on snakes and scorpions. Something else, he says, and the shame of your prostitution will be exposed. Number 7, exposed shame. When you commit adultery, you introduce to yourself shame and disgrace that cannot be hidden. Everybody will get to know what you are going through. Your rudeness and promiscuity have brought this upon you because you lusted after the nations and defiled yourself with idols. You have gone the way of your sister, so I will put her cup into your hand. When you commit adultery, you introduce what you call family cup. The Lord is saying, I will put the cup of your sister, who was Oholiba, unto you, Ohora. So when you commit adultery, you make a family cup of punishment be introduced to you. So you start seeing the pattern of your family system now starting to happen in your life. Because adultery brings